U.S. staffing now, and Jim and Ben are back to chat with us a little bit. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It'd help if I turn your mic on.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
So,
he didn't really want to hear from us anyways,
That's
I guess.
big doings at Comerica Park this weekend. They're going to retire Alan Trammell's number on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
He's
I was wondering
now
when they
a
were
Hall
going
of
to do that.
Famer.
Yeah.
Well, he deserves that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
absolutely. You know, I mean, I grew up listening to these guys. I could tell you every guy's number in the '68 World Series team, and probably the '84.
It's funner to talk about that than it is the Lions.
Yeah, well, that's
Because they've already lost their first game, right?
No, first two.
Oh, the first two. They've already
Well,
behind.
those are just exhibition games.
Yeah.
They don't count, but still.
Okay, yeah, they're not
we
trying
feel
then.
better if they look better, you know?
Yeah, it would help. So,
Anyway, we want to talk a little bit about balance today between,
Today's the
career
day.
and family, for heaven's sakes.
yeah, absolutely. So, Tim, have you ever been in a conversation with someone or maybe a group of people and the talk just seemed to dry up?
Maybe with you, it doesn't ever happen. With me, it happens all the time.
Yeah, suddenly there's this awkward silence and no one knows really exactly what to do.
Right.
Well, don't worry, because we have some great conversation starters to reignite those conversations.
I'll bet you do.
For
We brought him
example,
in just for today.
do you know what the most shoplifted item in the U.S. is?
I would say steaks.
Steaks. Close. It's candy.
Oh, okay.
In Europe, it's cheese, but in America, we steal candy.
Like cheese. What are they doing stealing cheese? Or how about this fun little conversation starter? You know, if things dry up in the conversation, you can always talk about this one. In 1965, a Senate subcommittee predicted that by the year 2000, which we're way beyond now, Americans would only be working 20 hours a week and have 7 weeks of vacation. Like, I don't know what happened, but something went off the rails there.
Yeah, what did happen?
I don't know.
We need to get back to that line of thought. Well, speaking of conversations, we found an article about conversations we should be having about our work-life balance. Tim, as parents, we're getting ready, or maybe some of us already have, sent our kids back to school. And
This
it's
is the
probably
week for it.
Yes, it is. It's probably a good time to reassess the work-life balance issues again and restart some of those conversations.
Yeah, so we found this article. It's titled 4 Conversations Every Overwhelmed Working Parent Should Have, and obviously with their kids and whatnot, but it's by some authors. Grenny and Maxfield. It was published just a few weeks ago in the Harvard Business Review. So now we're only covering a couple of these conversations right now, but we're trying to help working parents who are in the middle of sending kids back to school, and they may struggle with that feeling that, they're letting their family down or they're not meeting their career goals.
Mhm.
It's a difficult time sometimes to balance family on one side and career on the other.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, if you're a parent looking to establish and sustain a healthier work-life balance
Right.
for yourself and your children and maybe even your business or work life, then there are some specific conversations you should be having in the near future. The first conversation you should be having is with yourself.
Yeah.
Dear self.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it sounds weird, but it's important to reflect about who you are and what you want before you go out and talk to others about the boundaries you want to set for your work and life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what the heck do I want?
Right.
Yeah, like looking in the
Exactly
mirror, talking to yourself, right? So if you fail to think, though, if you think about this for a moment, if you fail to think about what your own boundaries are, then it's easy to get caught up in that unwinnable game of like pleasing other people and whatnot. And having this conversation with yourself, for thinking about it, is going to set the foundation before you go out and talk to other people about that work-life balance that you want. And speaking of other people in that conversation, having a conversation with the person that you work for and your coworkers is also vital. View this as an ongoing conversation with the people you work with to negotiate the specifics of your schedule and your workload.
Yeah, I mean, that can be really important. Sitting down with your boss and coworkers and let them know about your passion for your career and the work-related goals that you have. But then also unapologetically share how your family commitments relate into those priorities. This conversation is real important if you're a new mom or dad, or maybe you're already a parent but have a newborn in the house. Oftentimes, new parents suddenly have this epiphany that, oh my gosh, there's so much more to life than just
Right.
working.
Yeah.
So The third conversation you need to be having after talking with yourself in the mirror and others that you work with.
By the way, you shouldn't advertise that you're doing that,
right? But the next conversation you should be having is with your spouse. This is a time to have a real honest conversation with your spouse about your common goals for life and your children.
Yeah, in fact, really, you should probably have that conversation with your spouse before you have it with the people you work for or work with.
Yeah,
bring them in the loop long before you go to outside the house to talk about it. But if your spouse and you are not on the same page about work and life balance, there's gonna be resentment between the two of you, and then life gets really difficult after that.
Yes, it does. Finally, have a conversation with your children when they're old enough. It's okay to have a frank and honest conversation with your children about the pressures that you and your spouse feel about trying to balance the work and life goals that you have for your family. It could be a really good teachable moment for your kids.
I mean, our kids look at us, and we can, by our actions and behaviors, they can learn from us. So it is a good time to teach them. If you think that your current employer is not able or willing to provide you with the work-life balance that you need, then reach out to us at U.S. Staffing. And if you're an employer looking for some quality employees who are determined to help your business grow, then you need to contact us as well. We have a long list of excellent people right here in the Battle Creek area who are looking for new careers. Ben, tell the folks how to contact us.
Well, Tim, if employers and potential associates want to talk with us, they can find us on Facebook at U.S. Staffing Agency. They can visit our website at usstaffingagency.com. Or they can come into our Battle Creek location at 914 West Columbia Avenue. The phone number there is 269-589-6507.
It sounds like at U.S. Staffing, you're not just trying to find someone who's a warm body with a 98.6 temperature to stick in there.
No.
It sounds like you really are trying to find the right fit.
Yeah, and
both ways.
Yeah, both ways. We like to call ourselves like the matchmakers. Like, we look for people on both sides. It's got to work for both people. We want people to be there whether we place them for a long time as we say, like a career, not just a job.
Yeah, we're looking for the long term for both ends of it. We don't want to just have someone to go into a job and fail. That doesn't. I mean, that's a fail rather than a win-win for both employer and.
And the things that we talk about in these shows is like really to both employers and employees to make sure that they can understand there's a dynamic that goes on between the two of them that they got to get matched up.
Yes.
And we're part of helping that match.
Yeah. And what we talked about today, getting that dialogue going, first with yourself, then your spouse, then sit down with your employer.
Yeah.
And, and just put all the cards on the table. And if that employer just is deaf to your plight and doesn't want to listen, well, you've got skills, and if you go and see the folks at U.S. Staffing, they may be able to find an upgrade for you.
This is the time to change jobs in this economy right now.
If you're thinking about it, now's the time to do it.
Yeah. May not be the case another year or so.
Guys, thanks again for being with us from U.S. Staffing. Again, the address in Battle Creek
is 914 West Columbia Avenue, and the phone number there is 269-589-6507.
All right, Jim and Ben, U.S. Staffing. Talk to you again next time.